All right, well, good morning. I'm Carbon County Commissioner Chris Lukasevich, and this is the meeting after the meeting. That is the virtual meeting after the Board of Commissioners meeting. I'm going to go ahead for a minute. I'm going to do a quick test here, making sure my audio is good. Yeti Nano good, speakers good. I'm going to run that little test. Here we go, test, test, test. All right, so everything's good to go. Again, this is Carbon County Commissioner Chris Lukasevich. We're live on Facebook. This is the virtual meeting after the Board of Commissioners meeting. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and move this live streaming around a little bit on Facebook. So you're going to have to bear with me as I do that. And today, I am going to actually be sharing some screens, and I'll be doing that in order to show you a couple documents. One would be a proclamation that the commissioners made today in regards to school choice week. And additionally, I'll go ahead, I want to show you the, let me call it the nascent, so the building parking portal. And that is because starting tomorrow, 22 January, Carbon County will begin utilizing in its county lots and spaces the kiosk system, which is a cash and debit credit card system. 12 kiosks are in place in downtown Jim Thorpe in county parking areas. So again, I'm going to highlight that also as I go ahead and share some screens via Zoom. So again, a little bit of patience. So again, this is Carbon County Commissioner Chris Lukasevich. This is the virtual meeting after the meeting, the commissioners meeting. I'm going to take about 15 or 20 minutes. If you have any comments, you can go ahead and place that in Facebook. I'm streaming from the C4 Commissioner Facebook page, but I am leveraging Zoom so that I can do some screen sharing and jump back and forth. So not a really intense meeting today, and that's intense in regards to notable motions that were on the table. A lot of standard bill paying, right? The normal course of business of any organization. But I would like to highlight that today, the parking ordinance has now been given an effective date. Therefore, effective tomorrow, 22 January, the new parking ordinance for county parking lots and meter spaces in Jim Thorpe is in effect. And what are the areas we're talking about? Well, I'm going to show you on a map here in a few minutes, and I'll talk about some of the changes that visitors to Jim Thorpe, the county seat, can expect in regards to parking. So first and foremost, though, let me say that was the major item that really I thought came out of the commissioners meeting today. Again, effective date 22 January for the new parking ordinance. But first I want to jump on to the Lehigh River, right? The Lehigh River is one of 5 bodies of water. You have 3 creeks, or creeks if you're not from around here, and 2 rivers that are vying for Pennsylvania's 2021 River of the Year. So I'm going to jump on over to that website because I'd like to show you that where you can go to vote for the Lehigh River as PA's River of the Year. So let me go ahead and find where I'm at here. There we go. All right, and again, I'm going to be sharing. All right, so I'm going to give it a second or two to kick in here. I like to be able to see it. I have multiple screens open here, so I like to see it there on Facebook also, so that I know that it's effectively sharing throughout. So again, here we are. Vote for the 2021 River of the Year. This is your opportunity to highlight the importance of the Lehigh River to not only this community, but communities from its headwaters here in northeastern Pennsylvania all the way down to the Delaware River, which it feeds as it winds its way through multiple counties in eastern Pennsylvania, well over 100 miles in its course as it reaches the Delaware, and of course eventually into the Atlantic Ocean. So I'm encouraging Carbon County voters, and that is voters, that is people who have access to a computer, a smartphone, go to the library and vote for the River of the Year. So this is the website, pariveroftheyear.org, and it provides the 5 nominees who are vying for the distinction of River of the Year. You'll see 3 creeks, right? And 2 rivers, the Shenango, the Tunkhannock, the Loyalhanna, Buffalo Creek, and the Lehigh River. Well, how do you vote, you might ask? Well, it's actually pretty darn simple. And vote for the River of the Year. So this is the way. The Loyalhanna, Buffalo Creek, and the Lehigh. All right. So here you go. You're at pariveroftheyear.org. And to vote, all you simply have to do is click on vote. And there it is. You've cast your vote. Now you do have the opportunity right here. See, put in your email address. I'm going to do my C. Lukasiewicz, carboncounty.net. Submit your vote. Boom, I voted. I voted for the Lehigh River as the 2021 River of the Year. So I encourage residents of Carbon County, those counties in which, residents from those counties in which the course of the Lehigh River flows, those visitors to eastern Pennsylvania who utilize the Lehigh River for recreation purposes, whitewater rafting, kayaking, fishing, please go on to pariveroftheyear.org and vote for the Lehigh River for the 2021 Pennsylvania River of the Year. Think about this, the use and the importance of the Lehigh River really has evolved from, let's say, the time of the county's founding in 1843 up until today. Unquestionably, it was an enabler, facilitated the Industrial Revolution, moving coal and cargo downriver to feed the Industrial Revolution, down into Bethlehem, right? We're manufacturing steel, down into Philadelphia in that area. And then think about it today, where it's still an integral pillar of our economy based upon the tourism. It is an integral pillar of our quality of life, fishing, rafting, kayaking, all things that, well, we as citizens utilize, but also it brings in visitors to Carbon County who help stimulate our economy and keep it vibrant. So again, pariveroftheyear.org. Now let me jump to the next topic I want to talk about, and that is parking in Carbon County. And then I'm going to finish up with, I think, the school choice proclamation and one other item. So again, starting tomorrow, Carbon County parking lots and zones will be enabled through a kiosk system. Now, all the information you ever want to know about Carbon County parking, and I'm talking Carbon County government parking spaces, can be found at the parking portal. You can get there by going to carboncounty.com. You'll see on the left-hand side, parking portal. So that's an image of a kiosk, a pay kiosk here sign, and one of our informational signs. Just click on the parking portal link, and it's going to take you to a series of large thumbnails, actually 6 of them. And that has all the information that a resident or visitor or someone using county services will need to access to understand parking here in Carbon County. Now, this is a portal that we're just developing. So this is really the rudimentary basics or most basic portal, just to get the information out there. I expect it to evolve over the next 3 to 4 months, where we've asked our GIS mapping department to work on an interactive map. Again, right now, everything is kind of passive. So let me highlight. So parking can be used credit, debit card, coins, right? Or the Flowbird app. And all you have to do is download the Flowbird app. I'd recommend you download it prior to wanting to utilize it. You tend to have some connectivity issues down there in the gorge here by the parking spaces. So you probably want to download that app prior. You can also access it online. There's a hyperlink to the Flowbird app, and you can go ahead and log in to the Flowbird app. All right. So let me take you back though. That's Flowbird. Oh, let me show you something on there. It's great. I just saw that popped up. Okay. So let's see. Here it is. All right. Right. On the Flowbird app, you can see all the county, and actually I have to tell you, the Jim Thorpe kiosks that can be utilized. Blue are the county kiosks, and if you will note in our signage, blue is also the color of the county signs. Jim Thorpe uses red, and I know this is going to cause some confusion in one particular area. Right now, Carbon County has 12 kiosks established. We have 3 more, but they will not go in place until we finish the D&L connector trail, which is going to start here in the next 2 months and finish up April, May, really. They might do some trimming here in about 2 months. And then that D&L connector trail is really a safe passage on the edge of the county lot. So between the county lot and the river, there's going to be a bike pedestrian path that will be clearly delineated with safeguards, so pedestrians and bicyclists can move through from the southern end of the county lot to the northern end without the risk of being run over, right? But again, we're looking at the Flowbird app because it shows where all the county kiosks are. There's only one that is hidden, and there's actually one additional active one right here by this JT Borough one. Now, this is what is the 76 Susquehanna Street parking lot. We have one additional kiosk in proximity to the borough kiosk, and we're working, or we'll be working with the borough to help mitigate the risk of someone paying on the wrong kiosk, because you could be parking along Susquehanna, and frankly, you could end up paying a county kiosk, which is right beside you. Again, though, we are working on mitigating the possibility of that is occurring. But this is the Flowbird app. Again, I'm on the online version on my computer, but again, I do have it on my phone. I'm not going to switch screens to show it to you, but I do have it available. All right, but let's get back to the portal, because that's only one item. You also have all the parking fees, and you did see that the main lot, and it's over in this area, has gone up from $6 to $8 for all day parking. And on the weekends, it has gone from 10 to 12. Now, again, that's for all day parking in the county lot. But what this aligns with is the 12 hours of enforcement, right? From you'll go from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. are the enforcement hours. So it's the equivalent of $1 an hour, 50 cents per half hour. And that's the increments for most of the billing, right? 50 cents for every half hour. I will say, if you do pay by credit or debit card through the app, there is a 35-cent convenience fee. It's a one-time fee. Doesn't matter if you pick 1 hour or 2 hour, that's really what I should be saying. If I recall, Jim Thorpe actually, for each hour, there's an additional fee, if I understand correctly, from their billing. We do 1 35-cent convenient fee when folks use the app. Again, so here are the parking fees right there on the portal, right? Remember, enforcement 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But for Carbon County residents, let me give you, right, the inside scoop, which you probably already know. What time do county employees normally come to work? Are they here at 6 a.m. in the morning? Are most of them here at 6 a.m. at night? No, they're not. Keep that in mind, right? These are enforcement hours. But again, enforcement normally doesn't start, and this is the reality, right? Until 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. And depending on the day, it could run later. But by about 5 o'clock, we normally see that lot shutting down. But again, we maintain the flexibility to do enforcement for that 12-hour time period. All right, so that's taking you to the parking fees. Now, where are all those parking areas at? All right, oh, here it is. Let me raise that up. I might be able to actually, all right. So the parking zones, and there are 9 of them, are numbered from left to right, top to bottom, almost as if you're reading, right? So what you see, and I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, all right? So you see zone 1 is the upper end of the parking lot. Here's the bridge. Here's the county garage, right? Right here's the abutment to the bridge, right? This takes you down to the gate. There's a gate right in here. Here's access to the river. That takes you to zone 2. Now, this is primarily public parking, what previously was known as parking lot B, which starts in this area and heads north. Then you have area 3 and 4. Area 3, that's made up of county employee parking during the business day, Monday through Friday. Area 4, right, that's a combination of county vehicles, county employees, handicap, and reserved parking, spaces that are rented out on an annual basis. So that's 1 through 4. You have area 5, right, that's Lehigh Street, right in front of the annex, or on the side of the annex actually, right? From the entry to the county lot to the north. Zone 6 is the southern side, down to Mock Chunk Trust Company. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Zone 7 is between Hooven and the railroad station. Zone 8 is what we call the upper lot, or the lot behind the admin building, AKA the annex building. And then finally, zone 9 is the parking lot before 44 and 76 Susquehanna Street. What you see, yellow, are the kiosks that are operational, plus the green ones, green and yellow, operational. What will happen with these green ones, and the reason they're not yellow, is because in 2022, they will accept validated parking, right? That's a convenience that the county will be applying to county residents who make appointments for county business. Again, that doesn't take effect until January 2022. So the yellow and green are the existing operational kiosks. The red are the ones that will be placed, and these are approximate locations, will be in place after the D&L connector trail that's going to run from down here on the pedestrian bridge, lower right, southeast, all the way up through the county lot to where it connects to the D&L, all right, on the northern portion of the D&L. I also highlight down in the far right corner, parking zone 9. You'll see that kiosk there. That is the current kiosk that's not visible. Right now, that parking lot, due to the renovations of 76 and 44 Susquehanna Street. We're going to keep that kiosk not visible on the app or on Flowbird, but it is an operating kiosk. It is behind 6-foot chain link fence in the construction area. And as I said, the issue is about 30 feet away, and you can't really see it. There's a Jim Thorpe kiosk, and then we're going to have some issues down there that we're going to have to work through. All right, so that's the parking zones, where all the kiosks are located, plus 3 tentative sites for additional ones. All right, and again, starting tomorrow, the kiosk system will be in operations. All right, so we talked about the parking zones, Flowbirds, parking fees. The entire parking ordinance can be found on the website also, right? 2020-02. And again, it's a PDF document. I'll tell you what, I would not waste your time reading it. It's probably more confusing than anything else. You go down, there's the entire. It has the attachments, the parking map, plus the fees associated with it. All right, taking you back, the signage that you see, which is Carbon County signage, not to be confused with Jim Thorpe. You'll see on the parking booth on the left side of the window, welcome to Carbon County public parking. The order of these signs is probably not the best when it comes to where they are on the site here, right? Throughout all the parking zones, up to 6 per some zones, you'll see this informational sign. They are actually pretty high up. They're actually on 10-foot high U channels. And the reason they're on 10-footers is because we have so many SUVs, pickup trucks with campers and such that if you simply had them on a 6 or an 8, from a distance, they're not viewable. So we put them higher up so that that informational sign can be seen from a distance also. Likewise, the pay kiosk signs, which are located right at each kiosk, are placed high up, so they're also visible. They're at least 8 feet up. There's the informational sign, a little bit more detailed, right? All right. All right. So again, this is on the left window of the booth. This is the right window of the booth. And we would expect at some point in the near future, probably between now and June, that booth is going to be pushed back and moved. And actually an island, probably a low 6-inch, 4-6-inch island will replace it, or perhaps some parking stanchions that are flexible, high visibility. So again, the top 2 on the parking booth, and you can see that, and then pay kiosks at the kiosks, and then the informational signs throughout all the zones. All right. So lastly, what happens if you're so unfortunate, and I hope you'll never have to go through this portal, if you were to get a parking ticket? Well, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is click on this link, which actually takes you to, now look up into my bar, right? twosite.net/Carbon County PA/portal. And there you go. So if you have a parking ticket or you need to dispute it, you have 48 hours to dispute a parking violation of the ordinance. Put your ticket number or license number in here, boom, and you're good to go. Remember, this is a pay by plate. Unlike Jim Thorpe, where you have to go to the kiosk, put money in it, or get a paper stub and stick it back in your window. With this, all you simply have to do, when you go to pay, you put your license plate number in. The enforcement officers have a handheld Android device, hardened device, with a printer that has a automated license plate reader. So they can really just walk down the parking lot and scan license plates, and it'll show, are you a permit holder, a rental owner? Have you overstayed, or have you not paid? And an automated license plate reader, ALPR. So again, if you do unfortunately have the problem, a ticket, you want to pay it, or you want to dispute it, this is where you need to go, right? To this particular site. Now, I will tell you, this is a doctored photo. Notice there's a telephone pole and wires missing, right? So again, subtle, but this is a doctored photo, quote unquote, doctored photo. All right, so that is more or less what's going on parking wise in Carbon County. The kiosks are effective 22 January. The last training session for the parking staff will take place this afternoon. It's really about maintenance and operations of the kiosk itself. The enforcement software training has already been done. The handheld devices for the enforcement officers, the parking ambassadors, that training has already been done. So I'm going to stop the screen share right now. And for the last 2 or 3 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and put myself back into the screen. And I want to talk about 2 things. And I probably should have went to the portal here first to show you, but nonetheless, through 29 January, the county is accepting applications for an assistant director in the Bureau of Elections. All right. So again, if you go to carboncounty.com, on the left, you'll see employment opportunities. Click on that. That'll take you to the vacancies, and you'll see the position being offered. You know what? I hate to do this, but I'm going to re-share the screen so I can show everyone where this is located, because this is I find it pretty important. So you're back at, right, I'm going back to carboncounty.com. That's where we're at right now. You want to go ahead down the left side, you'll see employment opportunities. Click on employment opportunities, and you'll see the listing of currently available jobs, right? And here it is, Assistant Director of Elections. All you have to do is click on that hyperlink. That'll take you to the vacancy announcement, the application deadline, which is the 29th, and then the essential functions and skills of the job, right? So again, carboncounty.com will get you to this job announcement. You can go through it at your leisure. And by close of business on the 29th of January, you have your application in. There is an application PDF form right there. What I would recommend, it is a fillable form. I would recommend hit your little download button, download it to your desktop, fill it in electronically, right? Fill it in, because it is a fillable form. And then all you have to do, right? You're going to be able to attach your resume and then submit it directly to HR. So again, the easiest way to do this and the neatest way to do it, go to the application, download it onto your computer. Don't fill it in your browser window. Don't fill it in your browser window. Download the form to your computer. Open it in Adobe Reader, Adobe Pro, whatever the case may be. Fill it out. Then go ahead. You can sign it electronically, right? Attach your resume, right? And then hit submit, and it'll go automatically, the attachment and all that information directly to HR. Okay, so that's that. Let's stop sharing there. All right, lastly, this is, let's see, Assistant Director, PA River of the Year. It's School Choice Week. 24 to 30. Again, it's all about parents and students understanding that there's many viable options for K through 12 schooling. Public schools, parochial schools, virtual schools, hybrids, right? So again, there is a movement this week to raise awareness to the many schooling options that are available. And let me see if I have that proclamation available. It's not worth, you know what, I will post it a little bit later. I'll post that proclamation. It's a PDF right now, convert it to a JPEG and post that on Facebook. And again, it's about choice in education and schooling opportunities. So again, this is Carbon County Commissioner Chris Lukasiewicz, spending about a half hour with you, just to provide some insight onto vacancy announcement for the Assistant Director of Elections. There is also a full-time K-9 up at the shelter position that's available that was created. Parking changes here in the county seat when it comes to county parking. Be aware of that. 22 January, you're going to see the meter heads start to come down or to be bagged as the maintenance guys start removing those posts and meter heads. So again, you need to make your way over to the kiosk or use the app to pay. So again, I hope you have a great afternoon. This is Carbon County Commissioner Chris Lukasiewicz. I bid you all adieu. Join me and Scott Pompa. Scott, Jim Thorpe Warrior School District Board President. He and I will be doing next Thursday, starting at 8 p.m., Carbon Matters live streaming. We're going to be doing a self-assessment of our first year in elected office, Scott being on the school board, recently assuming the position of president, myself doing my self-assessment. And if you go to the C4 Commissioner Facebook page, you'll see there's an opportunity for you to provide your input in my assessment. And I'll be making my own personal assessment and then the input from county residents available on 28 January, 8 p.m. on Carbon Matters live streaming, 8 o'clock. Join Scott Pompa, Jim Thorpe Area School District President, and myself, Chris Lukasiewicz, Carbon County Commissioner, when we do our own report cards. And we look forward to your participation, constructive criticism, valued input to how we're doing as elected officials here in Carbon County. Have a great day.